Right now at 5, the date is set for the final decision on Joe Gau's future at UWL. And Wisconsin Democrats are criticizing Eric Hovde after a new report on a $26 million bank deal.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Cosgrove. Firearm over the weekend. According to Lake Hallie Police, an officer attempted to stop a suspicious vehicle when responding to a call regarding a stolen vehicle. That vehicle sped up and hit a parked car, sending both vehicles into a ditch. The officer told the 16-year-old driver to exit the vehicle, but he refused. When removing the driver, a loaded handgun was found underneath him. The firearm and vehicle were both confirmed stolen. That teen now facing several charges, including 2 counts of operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent, possession of a firearm under 18, and possession of a firearm while intoxicated. He's being held in a juvenile detention facility until his court appearance.
Well, more seasonable temperatures to start off the week. Pretty typical fall or end of September going into early October day with temperatures climbing up in the 70s after some morning fog at both locations. Right now we do have cloud cover that's increasing. We have a system to the south. It's not going to provide probably much in the way of showers. It's going to be more cloud cover really this evening and less as you go further north. Temperatures holding in the upper 60s near 70. You can see some of that cloud cover and some radar returns there, probably not reaching the ground, but that's what we're dealing with. Big scope shows that system is out in the Missouri beginning to push northeast. That is what's going to bring more clouds, at least for southern areas overnight. The system out to the west that you see there out in the Dakotas is going to fall apart, but that'll provide a little cloud cover too. But overall, remaining dry through this evening. Just the cloud cover. Temperatures more where we should be, about the middle 50s by 10 p.m. Same story for La Crosse too. A little bit more cloud cover here, but still overall dry with temperatures in the upper 50s. Once again with light winds. Big picture shows all the temperatures out to the west. We're going to start seeing a little bit of that warmer air get to our area, but it's probably not going to be until Wednesday. So overnight, we still could see some river area fog. Otherwise, temperatures a little bit warmer due to cloud cover, more 40s and 50s instead of some 30s that we had this morning. Now later on, we'll kind of break down when we're going to see actually these temperatures, these average temperatures. We're going to see some milder conditions coming for this week, and more importantly for Oktoberfest weekend.
That's
too.
right. It is a massive weekend ahead of us.
Definitely is. So there are some good news with it.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Well, former President Donald Trump is set to visit Crawford County this weekend. He's expected to deliver remarks at the Prairie du Chien Area Arts Center at 11:30 a.m. Saturday, with doors opening at 8:30. The presidential candidate is expected to speak about the border and recent crimes allegedly committed by illegal immigrants in Prairie du Chien. We will have a link to tickets to that event on our digital platforms. Wisconsin Democrats are criticizing Republican Senate candidate Eric Hovde over his bank's alleged ties to a troubled Mexican bank. Last week, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported Banco Azteca, long tied to the Mexican drug cartel, allegedly flew $26 million in cash over the border to Hovde's SunWest Bank last December. On a virtual call today, Wisconsin Democratic Party Chairman Ben Wickler says he is concerned about the possibility of other similar dealings.
This raises questions about why Eric Hovde still isn't being fully honest about which other foreign banks and governments are depositing money into Eric Hovde's bank. What else is Eric Hovde hiding?
Now, in releases, Democrats say they are not accusing Hovde or his bank of illegal activity, but Wickler says if Hovde doesn't reveal which other foreign entities his bank's done business with, he thinks it'll be difficult for Wisconsinites to trust Hovde. Now, Hovde's campaign is speaking out against the allegations. His spokesman releasing a statement today calling the allegations, quote, made up, and claiming it's a desperate ploy to distract voters from his primary opponent, incumbent Senator Tammy Baldwin. The UW Board of Regents will vote Friday whether to fire former UWL Chancellor Joe Gau. UW La Crosse fired Gau as chancellor last year after he appeared in online pornography with his wife. Now, the full UW board will meet in Kenosha Friday morning to potentially remove him from his tenured faculty position. The news comes after a UW committee recommended firing Gau during a hearing in Madison last Friday. If you stocked up on brats for your Oktoberfest celebrations, there is an important public health alert to alert you about. Now, state officials are issuing a public health alert for some brats made by Maloney's Bologna in Durand. The alert is for their wild rice and cheddar cheese bratwurst and wild rice and cranberry bratwurst. These products contain wheat, which is an allergen, but it's not listed on the label. Those brats sold at the Maloney's Bologna store on or before September 17th. So far, no one has gotten sick from eating them. If you have these brats and you're worried about the allergen, officials say to throw them out. County officials from across Wisconsin have traveled to La Crosse for the Wisconsin Counties Association Conference. This conference at the La Crosse Center will feature speakers and workshops highlighting issues that face the counties. Today's General Assembly included a speech from Governor Tony Evers and a discussion on the state's political landscape with Jeff Mayers of WisPolitics. The event gives the roughly 1,000 attendees an opportunity to network and share some ideas.
It's just an outstanding opportunity to get together to meet those other people who deal with the same issues you do on a daily basis, hopefully make life for their citizens a little better when they go home.
Senator Tammy Baldwin and Senate candidate Eric Hovde will give statements tomorrow as part of the General Assembly. Baldwin will appear in a pre-recorded video. A new safety initiative is rolling into town. County and state officials teaming up to educate children on the dangers of trains. Operation Lifesaver is a nonprofit that works to reduce injuries and deaths related to railroad tracks and crossings. It's bringing its message to La Crosse. They held an event this morning as part of the organization's See Tracks Think Train Week. Wisconsin's director of Operation Lifesaver says even if tracks aren't generally active, it doesn't mean you're safe from trains.
A lot of times we see tracks and they're just lying there doing nothing. And at one time when a train does come through. So our big message going to be to the kids this week is you see tracks, think trains.
There were 3 train accidents in La Crosse County in 2023, and according to Operation Lifesaver, distraction continues to be a leading cause of train-related incidents year after year. Governor Tony Evers, as we mentioned, in La Crosse today, highlighting clean energy and sustainability. The governor's visit coincides with National Clean Energy Week. He toured Summit Environmental School on French Island, visiting classrooms, their outdoor natural playscape, and even went canoeing with some students. Evers says attending a school that prioritizes the environment leaves a lasting impact on kids.
I think students leave here with an idea that saving our environment and being conscious of how important our environment is absolutely going to be part of their lives forever.
Summit is among the next schools aiming to go solar, part of the Solar on La Crosse Schools initiative. After a stop in La Crosse, the governor continued his clean energy tour with stops in Hager City and Superior. A manhunt for multiple suspects after a mass shooting in Alabama. More details on the reward now being offered when we come back.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative.
I have had the privilege of working with an exceptional team to install over 12,000 home improvements for local homeowners in the last 35 years. Now it's time for me to spend a little more time with my bride of over 50 years. Fortunately, I found an experienced remodeling contractor and corporate project manager to lead the board store into the future.
And with an outstanding team by my side, I am proud to lead this amazing company my dad has built. And we look forward to continuing to serve you with the great value that is the board store trademark.
National Democrats are spending millions on deceptive ads like these that lie and try to confuse you. Why? Because Democrats like Harris and Baldwin don't want you to focus on their radical record, allowing men to compete in girls' sports, funding a clinic that offers transgender therapy to minors without parents' consent, giving stimulus checks to illegals while Wisconsin families struggle. Baldwin and Democrats want you to focus on anything but their radical agenda.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Today, a federal judge in Florida ordered the suspect in an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump held in custody until his trial. Ryan Wesley Ruth was arrested earlier this month after he fled Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach. In a new Justice Department court filing, the FBI said a fingerprint found on a piece of tape attached to the rifle recovered from the golf course preliminarily matches Ruth. The FBI also said he left a handwritten letter with a man months earlier reading, quote, "Dear world, this was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you." The suspect is currently facing 2 federal firearms offenses, but prosecutors indicated they'll ask a grand jury to seek a charge of attempted assassination of a political figure. There is now a hefty reward after a mass shooting Saturday night in Birmingham, Alabama, with no suspects under arrest. At least 4 people were killed and 17 injured. 5 of them remain hospitalized, some too hurt to speak with police. Christian Benavides is in Birmingham with the latest details.
Before I know it, I can't feel my leg, and I just fall to the ground.
24-year-old Gabriel Islami described what happened after he was shot while waiting in line to enter a hookah lounge Saturday, intending on celebrating a high school reunion with friends. More than 20 people were shot, but Islami will recover.
I am beyond blessed, because even the doctor told me the bullet was millimeters away from my artery.
Crime Stoppers and the FBI are offering a joint $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of a suspect.
Our federal partners have been a tremendous help so far in working through a lot of the information and evidence that we have recovered.
Police say they do believe the shooting was a targeted hit against one of those killed by multiple gunmen, though the exact motive remains unclear.
This mass shooting has a heavy toll on community as a whole.
Birmingham police say they're increasingly seeing disagreements that end in violence.
The first thing people go to when they're upset is the handgun, and that is a culture.
Investigators are still combing through surveillance video as they try to unravel what led to the shooting and who's responsible. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Birmingham, Alabama.
Police say 12 of the injured have been released from the hospital and 5 are still getting treatment. A new COVID-19 variant is on the rise. How you can claim 4 free tests after the break.
And more typical fall-like weather for your Tuesday, but we have more milder conditions for the rest of the week, including Oktoberfest weekend. We'll break down what those temperatures like and whether we'll see any rain later this week. All coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Lane's Farm and Fleet's fall tool sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on great brands to help you tackle fall projects. Like $100 off these DeWalt tool batteries, now just $39. This Milwaukee brushless grinder with paddle switch, only $119. All GE light bulbs are on sale, 20% off. And maintain vehicles and equipment with 14-ounce tubes of Blaine's brand multi-purpose grease, just $189 for rewards members.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Jason's been with us long enough now to see changes in Michael's abilities. He can
analyze them and tailor his recommendations because he has almost as much knowledge of Michael's health as Michael's doctors do. I think that's huge. That is the single biggest factor for me. And that kind of client relationship is invaluable, especially when you're facing the challenges that we are.
Hi, I'm Jason with Access Elevators. Stop in and see us today.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, the new COVID variant XEC is on the rise just ahead of the fall and winter when many respiratory viruses circulate. So to get ready, the U.S. government is making more at-home COVID-19 tests available for free. Each household will be able to order a new round of 4 free at-home test kits. The new test kits will be available by the end of the month. For more information and to order, go to covidtest.gov. Well, we saw some rain come through the region over the weekend, but today a pretty solid Monday in western Wisconsin. How's the rest of the week look with Oktoberfest right on the horizon? Let's get the answer from Greg.
Definitely looks pretty good. Yeah, we did have definitely a lot of rain, especially further south you go towards Madison area. Southern Wisconsin really got hit hard. Mainly some of the areas was more spotty, but that system has passed out to the east and to the south. That little system to the north, as we've kind of seen the cloud cover out to the west approach, that's really going to die down. It's not going to be too much as it comes through. It's going to kind of fall apart. So cloud cover. This system and another one to the south is what's going to bring our cloud cover up a little bit tonight and then maybe early tomorrow morning. Precipitation chances are looking very slim or none. Maybe a few sprinkles further south you go. But we could still deal with a little bit of morning fog. That's a possibility, but there is going to be more clouds out there, so it won't be probably as widespread. I think Wednesday morning could be another really fall, typically morning fog, river valleys, lake bodies of water type thing that we see this time of year. So that's what we're going to deal with. Seasonal temperatures tomorrow, still 70s where we should be, around 70. Temperatures are going to start coming back up for midweek and beyond, and that means mid to upper 70s, maybe an 80, depending on how things plan out for Thursday, Friday, even the weekend. We're going to be kind of getting very close, at least La Crosse southward, getting close to 80. Otherwise for tonight, here's all that activity out to the west. As you wake up tomorrow morning, this system is going to be falling apart. The one I just showed you in the Dakotas is approach. We're only seeing a little bit of cloud cover approach western areas. Otherwise, could be some spotty areas of fog or low clouds developing some of the areas as you wake up. Not as quite as chilly as we had, more 40s near 50 than 30s that we had this morning. Otherwise, the rest of the day, we're just going to see on and off a little bit of cloud cover, more sun as that system begins to fall apart. Otherwise, no issues to speak of going through Tuesday evening and then going in Tuesday night and Wednesday. Fog potential, we had some this morning. Right now, it doesn't look to be maybe as dense or widespread. We had some areas this morning, but still, it's around that 6 to about 9 a.m. time frame where near rivers or lakes, you might see that fog reduce visibilities down to less than 5 miles. Otherwise, as we get closer to about 9, everything then improves too. So we could see around again tonight, maybe even Wednesday. Here's your highs, pretty much where we should be this time of year, right around the low 70s or upper 60s, depending on location. So very typical weather. Now, as I mentioned, that system falls apart. The one that we're keeping an eye on, the hurricane actually that's going to be forming out in the Gulf and coming up to Florida is going to play a factor potentially in our weather. By the time we go to Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to watch this tropical storm begin to it will be a major hurricane by the time it hits this time probably Thursday into Friday. That system's going to begin to lift north, and that would provide, as you see in the forecast, there's some cloud cover towards the weekend and some brief shower chances coming with that. The hurricane, or what's left of it, will probably push up into southern Illinois, southern Indiana, but the cloud cover associated with that and maybe some precip could impact us this Oktoberfest weekend. But if we do get any rainfall, it'll be very light. I think more clouds than not. Further north you go, less clouds. But the temperatures ahead of it, upper 70s, near 80.
Looking real good right there.
So, yeah, you can't beat it. Like I said, a little cloud cover keeping the sun down is perfect for me, too.
Absolutely. Greg, thanks for the latest. Some new icons will soon be coming to your keyboard. A look at 8 new emojis, which Greg loves, their meanings after the break.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor and the potential to take you anywhere.
Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
From sunup to sundown, Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning has been servicing our Cooley region for 59 years. Whether you're in La Crosse, Onalaska, West Salem, Holmen, or La Crescent, take comfort your heating and cooling needs are met with our trusted staff, longevity, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Be ready this fall and call Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning for your furnace cleaning check today. Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, your local train dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
As the mom of a daughter, I'm livid that boys are now being allowed to compete in girls' sports. It's just wrong, and I blame Tammy Baldwin. She voted to let biological men into women's sports. Worse, Baldwin co-sponsored legislation to force girls to share locker rooms with biological men. Tammy Baldwin is failing to keep our families safe. Tammy Baldwin's extreme values are wrong for Wisconsin. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's an Oktoberfest tradition, the Maple Leaf Parade, Saturday at 10 a.m. on Channel 8.2 or streaming on News 8 Plus. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
8 new emojis are coming to smartphones and computers. They include an exhausted face with bags under its eyes and a flag for the remote island in the English Channel called Sark. There are also a root vegetable, harp, shovel, and a purple splatter. And a leafless tree is meant to raise awareness of drought and climate change. The popular emoji reference site Emojipedia, didn't know that existed, released sample images a few months ago. Now a nonprofit that oversees global emoji standards and new releases has approved them. So the new emojis will roll out over the next few months and throughout 2025. I think I'll be using the exhausted one out of all of those, although I'm always talking about Rask off camera. Greg's got one final look at your forecast right after this.
It can be backbreaking work all day, every day, pretty much on your feet. So it burns me up when Eric Hovde says people in Wisconsin don't work hard. The guy is a multi-millionaire California banker. He has absolutely no idea what we're going through. He's living the high life out there in a big fancy house. He even brags about being in the 1%. Listen, don't come here and tell us we're not working hard when we are just getting by. Eric Hovde doesn't respect us at all. The guy's a straight-up jerk. ESCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Darling, I believe believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
Are you thinking about new windows and doors? A new bathroom, a new kitchen? Maybe a sunroom, siding, or a deck? Get started today with special savings while we celebrate serving homeowners for over 35 years. While we celebrate Danielle becoming the new general manager.
And celebrate Dad's 80th birthday.
Best products.
The best people.
Best prices.
35th anniversary at the Board Store.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
A suspected Venezuelan gang member who was arrested for domestic battery.
Violently attacked a woman physically and sexually.
The border crisis is real here in Wisconsin.
Criminal gangs harming our community.
We're stretched thin. Open borders and weak politicians are crushing us.
Rebecca Cook is one of them. She doesn't back law enforcement. She'll never secure the border. She doesn't even want to.
That's why we stand with Derek Van Orton. He has our back.
And I've got yours. I'm Derek Van Orton, and I approve this message.
All right, but we should have plenty of cloud cover this evening, less overnight. I don't think the temperatures will be as kind of chilly almost as you had thought last night. Some more 40s near 50. Could be still some morning fog out there in some areas, maybe not quite as much as we saw this morning. Otherwise, we warm up throughout the week and just more cloud cover as we go to the weekend, maybe a shower, but the temperatures are going to warm up.
All right, thank you, Greg, and thank you all for joining us tonight at 5.